Peace, 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 and greetings and gratitude. What's going on with the soul brothers and the soul sisters? So we gonna talk about Power Force. Checked out a few episodes, and I thought maybe I should speak on it just to give a little insight because these dudes they be doing reviews, and they reviews be lukewarm, super lukewarm. They just pretty much go over what already been. You know what I'm saying? Like they pretty much summarizing everything they saw on the damn series. Everything they seen on the series, they practically just summarize it and trying to connect dots as far as the plot, but they not going deeper. They not seeing it through the Lord's eye, you know. So let's jump into it, man. You see Tommy. Tommy is already a human, of course. And that's the thing. You see his cut. If you pay attention, his cut is shaped like a crescent moon. And when you have the bowl cut like that, that also shapes a moon. That's why in the Bible, as far as the Levitical priesthood, you're not supposed to shave the size of your heads and stuff like that. It's going against the Levitical priesthood laws, you know. And those priesthoods, and the reason why I'm bringing up the Bible because it has our stuff in it, but it's not the full totality. That's why I said that we have these cultures and things like that, and you know, things that had to be done in ancient times or whatever the case may be. You know, there was a priesthood, and it just got dumbed down. So down to this priesthood today that you see in the church, you see in the Vatican, is all dumbed down. It's not how it was in the golden era, you know. So there's been a downing effect with the whole priesthood thing. But when it came to the Levitical priesthood, you couldn't shave the size of your head and all those, even being a Nazarene, you know. Y'all know I don't deal with the Bible, but they have references and they have references as far as how we conducted ourselves on a higher level, you know. So yeah, that's yeah, Tommy pretty much was a goddamn spirit, a goddamn demon. Now Ghost was tagged. That's why his name was Ghost, because he is a G. And then you have Host. You know, Tommy was the spirit, or should I say the parasite that just wouldn't let Ghost go, you know, aka James St. Patrick. He didn't want to let him go through their segment of power before Force. He couldn't let go, man. And that's why when you look at the word ghost, James St. Patrick was the host. He was the host that Tommy was feeding up off of. You know? And then not only that, Ghost, he started messing with the shorty Angela. You know, trying to make it seem like Shorty was an angel. No, she was a human, and Ghost was laying down, beating that, right? And he began to fall continuously. You know what I mean? And what people don't know is that at the end of it, Ghost, he really started jumping in bed with the Masons because he started getting involved with the government and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think he wanted to be governor or something like that. So, yeah, man. Getting into that political arena, yes, you have to join forces with them cats, man. They don't just let anybody in a circumference, none of that, in a circles, none of that. You have to join. You know, but you see when Diamond, Cause Diamond, he represent the pineal gland. And you see he got the kufi on. Reason being is because he was trying to get his head on straight. You gotta know that when he was in jail, that was a sit down from the gods. That was the gods telling him to sit down because they already know. So once he was released, he wasn't even sure if he wanted to get back in the game, but he was pressured. He couldn't take the pressure. The cats from around the way was calling him soft. And that's the thing, man. That's what the demons do, man. The trickery of words and the doubt and having you compromise yourself. You know what I'm saying? So with him covering his crown, that's a defense mechanism in him, you know what I'm saying, keeping the discipline. And then as it continued on, the show continued on, he took it off because he began to lose himself. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, him and his brother is like a Cain and Abel thing. So it would be in this aspect or this theme, well, God chose Diamond, and then you have the beast that chose Jannard. You know what I mean? So it's like the Cain and Abel story. That's why Diamond, in a recent episode, he got shot in the chest. He got shot in the chest by Tommy by jumping in front of the gun, the bullets and all of that for his brother, Jannard. He sacrificed himself. You know what I mean? But his brother been trying to kill him. Been on some hate and jealousy, envious type time. And the whole thing is that Diamond got killed by his brother. They gonna play, oh, he jumped in front of the bullets. Yeah, that's cool. That's the scenery. But realistically, man, it was a symbolic kill. You know what I'm saying? Cain and Abel joint. Cain and Abel joint. Yeah, I mean, so Diamond, he the fallen god, man. And he was trying to get back on his team, and he failed. And then in between episodes, because he got involved with Tommy, he was getting bruises and stuff like that on his sun eye, on his right eye, which is your sun eye. Sometimes they do it on the left. It all depends, but you gotta read between the lines. So when you getting bruised on that eye, that mean that pineal gland is being damaged and you're falling. You're falling. And that's what happened. And then as you continue to watch the series, you see Diamond is getting darker and darker and darker. He started, and I mean that in the sense of getting into the dark side. Also by the behest of Tommy. Tommy was trying to bring that out of him. And this is another thing. When Tariq killed his pop in the power joint, the first power, you got to know that on the other side of it, Ghost, aka James St. Patrick, had a ghost on him. That's why they called him Ghost, because he know how to conjure up that ghost energy, to kill. That's why he has Ghost is like his alter ego. You know what I mean? Because he transformed into that. If you pay attention, you see his segments, his dialogues when he's not in this ghost mode and when he's in James mode. You know what I'm saying? So you see his psyche and how it works. You see what's going on. So I say that to say this, because you gotta know that the ghost energy that was in James had left him and went into his son. That's another reason why he was killed. Because that would be the ghost that, what I'm saying, that left and went inside and into his son. And then his son adopted that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take my ring, I'm giving you my ring, and now you have it. You know what I'm saying? You inhabit the energy now. And that's what happened. That's what happened. So yeah, that ghost went into Tariq because James St. Patrick, he gave up what? The ghost. He gave it up. He didn't want to do it no more. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to live the straight and narrow path, but he still joined the political world, which has everything to do with signing that contract. That soul contract. So yeah, Diamond fell from it's crazy. And then, like I said, with Tommy, he's a spirit and he has the moon haircut, the crescent moon. He's a goddamn spirit feeding off what? The God man's energy. The God man's energy. Like, y'all gotta analyze this, man. I'm not making this shit up. It's obvious. This was a ritual right here. You know what I'm saying? When he sliced bull neck or whatever he did. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a cop. He just got tired of, dude running up on him and antagonizing him and all that other shit, trying to bully him and shit. So Diamond let him have it. But that was something that Tommy was trying to conjure up the ghost in Diamond. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a blood ritual. That's telling you that the ritual has been done. You know what I'm saying? It's been complete. It's been accepted. You know what I mean? Tommy the Beast. That's why he tell you, and the black people stupid, man. They talking about, yeah, Tommy say he's going to cancel Christmas on their ass. Yeah, I know. Those are key words, key terms. Cancel Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Cancel Christ. You must cancel Christ. You know what I mean? And Christmas is about the Christ consciousness or the Christ God man. That those are rituals. Like Christmas is a ritual. It's a ritual, man. Yeah, man, straight up. Shanti was the goddess. She switched up and she chose to be on the Beast team. And that was because Jannard messed around and smashed the concubine. By the behest of who? The Beast. Cause he already know to sick his whores on a God man to weaken the God and the goddess relationship. Ain't that some shit? They showing you how the fucking Beast move. You know what I'm saying? So Shanti is now with Miguel, this nigga Vic, and Tommy. She chose the Beast. You know what I mean? So, they showing you, man. They are showing you what's going on, man. And this circle here is the mother freaking moon. That's what they trying to force. That's what they trying to force. The democratic energy, which is the color blue. Why? Because that's what we on right now. You know what I mean? Trump is setting the discipline here. The order. You know what I mean? That's exactly why. You gotta know that these series, shows, or whatever, these movies are all connected. All connected. You know what I mean? This stuff is not made up just because they want to be creative and, let's give the people a show. No. I mean, they had the entertainment aspect of it to throw you off on what's going on. But reality is that they giving you some truth in this stuff. And you got to read what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? It's all a web that's connected. You know what I mean? The moon, man. The moon. The moon. You know what I mean? Tommy's the beast. Tommy Egan is the beast. And he's eager to bring in that power and enforce that shit with the moon. You know what I mean? Tommy already killed her because she wouldn't play ball. You shouldn't even gave him the opportunity in the first place. Weak, She was wearing them Jesus wigs. What happens when you wear Jesus wigs? You're not thinking properly. You know what I mean? Weak. Weak. You know what I mean? Weak. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is my quick video, man. His family is weak, man. Weak. They sacrifice their own though. That's the thing. They killed the pops because he didn't want to move forward. So they washed him up. His kids washed him up. You know what I'm saying? And wanted to take over. and move in with the gods. The function of the gods. And then Tommy with the gods. So, he trying to, affiliate himself along with the advancement of the dope business or whatever. You know what I mean? But what's funny is that let me see something. Yeah. Whoa. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Dahlia, the goddess. And it's not so much her hair being blonde. Her hair is that color because it represents the sun. It's a ritual in the society world, you know what I'm saying, with the blonde hair shit. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, on the God aspect, the intuitive aspect of it, it's the sun. And it's crazy because she was the one who created the high called Dahlia. And what color was it? It was black. It wasn't white. It was black. And when you look at it, it ain't even so much black. I'm just going with the flow of the language, right? With the color. But we know the real definition of black, right? But when you look at Dahlia, it's carbonated. It's like carbonated, you know what I mean? So, two, it used to glow. So when she initially made the first batch of the Dahlia, it was glowing. And with that being said, that all signifies her genetic or soul like connection to Dahlia, and then as time went on, see, shorty with the damn Jesus wig. That's why she got clipped. You know what I mean? That's why she got clipped. Shaking hands with who? There you go. There you have it. There you have it. You know what I mean? The beast talking saucy to her, telling what to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you adopt the damn beast wig, man. But yeah, back to Dahlia, man. So this the thing. With her vibration getting lower and lower because she start being around who? Tommy too much. And Tommy, see, this the thing. That goes with that 48 laws, shit. So you have people that create or manifest the idea, and then you take it and operate it as if it's your own idea. And that's what Tommy was doing. He messed with Dahlia. I mean, not Dahlia. I forget her character name. Okay, Lauren Williams, whatever. Cool. I don't know if that's her real name or her character name. I'll find out. But the whole fact of the matter is that she lowered her light being around Liliana, which is Lilith. You know what I mean? Which signifies Lilith, the moon. Tommy, the moon. And then Claudia. You dig what I'm saying? The beast. Then killed her. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. She forfeited her damn energy to appease to these goddamn demons. That's just what it is. And when I say demons, deities of the moon. That's it. And that's why you need to watch the company you keep, the people you be around. They feed off your light. You lessen your light. Being around these humans, you lessen your light. Being around the beast, you lessen your freaking light. That's just what it is. So all y'all people out there, and I'm talking about the so-called black man or black woman, if you got a human friend next to you, it's a guarantee that they feeding off of you, lessening your light. That's just who they are. That's their well-being. It's not me taking shots. It's me speaking truth. It's just what it is, man. And you guys out there mixing y'all seed, like y'all gotta stop trying to rehash their genetic programs, man. But even that, they're getting flushed out with that because the genes always go back to its original state. Always. It's more to break down with this, man. I can have fun with this. I can really have fun with this. You guys can have fun with this, man. But Dahlia represented her, her, the goddess. That Dahlia. That Dahlia represent the goddess, the carbon, all of that. I mean, she lost her light. And then once she completely lost her light, she got murdered, man, by the beast woman. But yeah, that's my video. Thought I'd give some insight because, these buffoons, they make these reviews and they don't really go in depth. That's how I know these people are fake. They fake. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Thank y'all for tuning in as usual. I think I'm gonna do another workout video too. I'm gonna get back in the gym and get these gains up, get these muscles up, strengthen up the lungs and all that type of stuff. So, so yeah, that's it. That's all, man. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. But yeah, 9 is it. 9 Ascension. You already know what it is, man. Harambe.